Hey guys, I almost forgot to tell you about my new acquisition, which is a Fender Jazz V. That's the V. Now, it's not a deluxe, it's just a standard, which means it's got standard passive pickups, same jazz configuration as every other jazz bass out there, a jazz bass style neck. As far as, you know, the nut's not going to be as wide as a 4-string jazz bass, for obvious reasons, but the depth of it seems to be pretty close to my 97 Fender Jazz. Now, this one's a 2004. It's got the 5-string, or excuse me, it's got the 5-string bridge, just a standard bridge. The internals are standard, the pickups are standard, nothing has been changed on this bass with the exception of me doing a cleanup on it. It was kind of gungy, and I think Dave Rayome over Davey4557, I think is his YouTube channel. Just giving him a shout out. The guy's hilarious. It's freaking awesome. You got to go check it out. But he talks about removing a lot of DNA. I had to wash this neck like 3 or 4 times to get all the gunk and the finger oil and everything else off of there. And I mean, it really kind of made me feel, it was gross. So, but I got it cleaned up. I mean, and the bass had been sitting. There was a ton of dust inside here. It was obviously it was hanging on somebody's wall, just collecting dust. The original deal was that it was a factory blemish. There's some damage on the upper area here, as well as a scratch down here on the bottom. They bought it as a factory blemish to sell to, or to use for their church. And I guess the church upgraded or didn't need it again anymore, so they gave it back to him, and he was like, well, I've got a bunch of guitars sitting around my house, and this thing never gets played, so I may as well sell it. So he offered it up for sale on eBay for $175, and anybody be able to tell you that anytime you can pick up a jazz bass for $175, that is an actual Fender jazz bass, you're probably getting a pretty good deal, or you're going to have to deal with a lot of issues with this bass. But to be honest with you, it's been a great bass for me. Once I got it set up, it plays super nice. The action's really nice and low, especially for a 5-string. The B is pretty solid on it, and the low B is, and it's just, it's a surprisingly comfortable bass to play. It's got D'Addario round wounds on it, but fortunately, my good buddy Don Dawson at D'Addario, shouting out to the D'Addario people, has been able to send me a couple of low Bs that they've been working on to see kind of, yeah, what do you think of them, you know? And they're going to be done in the flatwound chromes, because if you know any of my other basses, you know that I play chromes on my flatwounds on my basses. So I'm looking forward to stringing this bad boy up with a chrome low B and kind of giving these guys some feedback on what I think of it. Be gigging out with it this weekend and probably in a few more weekends, and once I get the low B on there, it'll be a really good time checking it out and just seeing how they perform. So the cool thing about this bass, it's different from the other basses, is it's a Pau Ferro neck. And what that means is that instead of it being a traditional rosewood with the dots and markers, it's just Pau Ferro. And it's kind of a pretty, really pretty neck on it when you look at it. It's maple backed, but the fretboard is Pau Ferro, and it seems to me to have a lot more mass, and it resonates a lot deeper. Every string resonates much deeper. Now, that could just be the D'Addario round wounds versus the chrome, so I'm going to probably take a look at that and see what I think. You know, later on when I get to test it, does it actually carry that resonance because of the neck, or was it the string combination with the neck? But there's a lot more mass on a 5-string neck, and so you're going to get probably going to get much more body, pretty close to the amount of tone and resonance that you might get from, for example, a 4-string neck through, with the amount of the body movement that you're going to get, and string tension affecting that greatly, obviously, will be the kind of the determining factor. But I just play with mediums, so should be pretty much well what anybody be able to get. That being said, going to do a little demo and just kind of see what you guys think. This is just recorded real quickly through my Zoom B9.1 UT into my board and right into the capture function on the camera. So there you guys kind of get what it sounds like with I've rolled off the volume on it. It's surprisingly powerful as far as the stock pickups. I don't think I'm going to change them out just yet. I'm going to play around a little bit with the setup, and once I get the chromes on it and I get that low B from D'Addario and try those out, I'll have a little better idea of what it is that I want to do with it. Obviously, they actually make pickup covers for these, so I could kind of go with an old school vibe for it, but I think I'm going to leave it pretty much well as stock because, you know, I mean, it's a 5-string, folks. They didn't make 5 strings in 1970 coming out of the Fender factory unless it was somebody's special order that I didn't know about, but wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, that's probably not what happened. But in the meantime, it's not a bad bass. It's got a lot of body to it, and I'm digging it. And look forward, hopefully in the future, that D'Addario low B chromes comparison, just to kind of give an idea of what the chromes are going to sound like with. I'm going to really be interested in playing them in and really giving a long-term report on just how does a low B survive in chrome land with Roland, because I love, you know, I've got one set that's 2 years old and another set that's, you know, aging to about 8 or 9 months now, and they really get worn in and they really get cooked in really good there. So I am really looking forward to how this B string is going to live in the long term. But right off the bat, the most important things will be whether or not the B is floppy and flammy all over the place. Yeah, my technique needs a whole lot of work. But hey, I'm looking forward to playing with it. Hope you guys enjoy it. It's just a quickie little video. Stay low.